All right, so this is chapter 2 test. Take your time. Uh, Hopefully you have everything you need on your notes. And this way, when I read it, you can pause it, you can rewind when you need to, you can skip through if you need to, but I would highly recommend you to try to listen to the whole thing. So don't rush through, you have plenty of time. So, all right, so here we are. Number 1. It says, what is 38% of 96? Okay, so you're going to basically have it just like how it is here. Your key thing to look at is of. What does of mean? And you need to make sure you show your work and round to the nearest tenth. So you might get a big long decimal, you might not. I'm not going to emphasize on that or not, but just know to round to the nearest tenth. So make sure you show your work down here and fill in here to the round to the nearest tenth. All right. Number 2, the KMS Robotics Club decided to sell t-shirts to pay for their field trip. They started with 480 t-shirts and sold 83 in 1 month. How many t-shirts did the Robotics Club sell? Okay. They started with 480 and sold 83 in 1 month. You're trying to figure out how much did they sell. Okay. So if they sold 83% in the total, they started with 480, use one of the things that you've done to figure out how much they have sold. Now, you're going to want to round to the nearest whole number. What I would say about that is you are rounding to no decimals. You won't have any decimals. So you're going to round to the nearest whole number, but you got to look at the number next to it in the decimals to decide what to do. All right, number 3. This is going to be a percent of change, and you're going to look for increase or decrease. So go to that part in your note card to find it. In 2000, Jim bought a McDonald's hamburger for 70 cents. Yesterday, he bought a McDonald's hamburger for $1.10. What is the percent of change? Okay, so you're going to show your work down here, show the percent of change. Once you've shown the percent of change, you're going to say as well up here, what are the changes? You're going to say up here, is it an increase or a decrease? Show your work, which I already said, and you're going to round to the nearest tenth. Okay. All right. Number 4, the price of a motorcycle has been reduced from $18,800 to $15,750. What is the percent of change? So this one's similar to number 3, but then you got to decide, is this an increase or a decrease? So the same setup that you had as before, find the percent of change, and once again, you're going to round to the nearest tenth. All right, number 5. Let's take this out. Okay, a t-shirt usually sells for $18. The t-shirt is on sale for 30%. Add sales tax of 7%. Let's see. Change this a little bit. There we go. Now it makes sense. Okay, a t-shirt usually sells for $18. The shirt is on sale for 30% off. What is the sale price of the shirts? And then you're going to round to the nearest hundredth. So notice up here was rounding to the nearest tenth. Down here it's now to the nearest hundredth. And all you're doing is seeing how much the sell price is. So remember, you would pay all this except for the fact it's on sale, so you're going to pay less. So how do you do that when you're figuring. Okay. Number 6 is similar to number 2. Mrs. Veers, or Mr. Veers, took his lovely wife out to dinner. The food came out to be $36. Mr. Veers left a 20% tip of the total for the waiter. How much total money did Mr. Veers spend? And once again, you're going to round to the nearest hundredth. Okay. And it's like I said, it's similar to number 6. Right, number 7. Gabby took out a loan to buy a new sports car. She borrowed $65,000 for 8 years at a yearly simple interest rate of 4%. How much interest? There's your key one right there, interest. You're going to look for the interest. Did she end up paying the bank? Round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so you're going to look for the simple interest loan or simple interest rate and go to figure that one out. So figure out what is interest, what is your rate, or find out what the principal rate and years. Okay. Number 8. A cell phone is on sale for 30% off. If the sale price is $474.60, what is the original price? So this is the sale price. So you're going to see how much of it did you actually pay. Remember? So what would have been the original price? So use that original price formula to help you with that one. All right. Number 9, write a percent equation. So equation, you're going to use the one that's in the percent equation for the problem below. Then solve, round to the nearest tenths. 72 is 30% of what number? So figure out what is technically missing for this equation, and then you're going to solve. And remember, you might have to isolate the variable and round to the nearest tenth. This one was round to the nearest hundredth. Number 9 is round to the nearest tenth. All right. This one is write a percent proportion for the problem below, then solve. So this one's going to be proportion, so it's not going to be written out as an equation at the beginning. It might look like an equation once you do something like cross multiply. So we have write a percent proportion for the problem below, then solve. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, 36 is 40% of what number? So what is missing? Okay. All right, number 11. Angie purchased new windows for her home using special financing loan. The carpet cost $5,000. Angie paid the loan off in 4 years with interest totaling $800. So I will have to say this is important. Interest totaling $800. What was the simple interest rate of the loan? Okay, this is similar to number 7, but something different is missing. So that's your hint on there. Something different is missing. It's wanting to know what was the simple interest rate of the loan. Okay, so figure out what is missing. This is key right there. All right, number 12. Find the percent error. Round to the nearest whole percent. So whole percent right here, you're going to round to the nearest whole percent. Once again, that is having no decimals, but you might have to use the decimal to help with the rounding part. Okay, Loretta estimated the weight of her dog to be 40. She guessed that the weight of her dog to be 40 pounds. But the vet told her the actual weight of the dog was 45 pounds. So how do you find this percent error on here? Remember, you're rounding to the whole percent for this one. And number 13, calculate the selling price of a $70 bicycle with a markup 90%. So you purchased the bicycle for $70, but you want to mark it up to make money 90%. You're going to round to the nearest hundredth. So remember, how do you do mark up? And show your work down here. And for a bonus, just for fun, which weighs more, a pound of bricks or a pound of feathers? Explain. All right. Okay, and if you have any questions, I'm here too to help. So I hope you're doing well. I'm sure you guys will. And good luck.